What's up, guys? This is Carter Thomas with Coin Mastery TV. Make sure you go subscribe at coinmastery.com or subscribe for the YouTube channel at coinmastery.com/YouTube. Thank you so much for coming. I should mention also, if you want to listen to this on a podcast, coinmastery.com/iTunes, and you can get this sent to you every Monday through Friday. We talk about daily crypto updates. We talk about specific picks. I do some analysis for you guys or help you and show you kind of my thought process. And we approach all this a little bit differently. We look at more of a macro psychological standpoint to the markets and less of a nitty-gritty technicals. Now, pretty crazy weekend. If you weren't following, probably a good thing because you probably got some sleep. Everyone else, myself included, have been glued to these charts. Now, this all really took off on Friday night. I was traveling and I got to my hotel room and was just like, watching the Bitcoin prices go through the roof. And that's from a variety of factors. A lot of it's from Bitcoin Cash, dollars being freed up, but a lot of it's just, pent up demand, right? The market just was ready for it. And I think that this price drive is going to continue to 4,000 and 5,000 pretty quickly, probably faster than we all think. Right now it's at 33.87 as of Monday, whatever day it is today, August 7th. We're doing this around 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So it's at 33.8, and this has just gone up, like gangbusters. It hit 3,400, taking a little bit of a break. So that's been the news. I think Bitcoin will continue to be the news, and until really SegWit fully locks in, like the 2 megabyte block size, which I believe is in November. And until then, I think we're going to see a lot of movement around Bitcoin. We're going to continue to see Bitcoin being the real story of crypto, as it has been. Probably it will be. The other big thing that's going to happen, obviously, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, is the derivatives market opening up in September. I think you're going to start to see some institutional money. I think that this particular 3,400 milestone, I think you're going to start to see a lot of people say, like, this isn't going away, right? There's a lot of money to be made. I think there's a lot of fear in the stock market, and we're going to see that. So overall, I think Bitcoin is going to be a good place to have your money. So if nothing else, if you're just like, what should I do? Just start buying into Bitcoin slowly, once a week. Just keep doing it. It's probably your best and safest bet, and you'll probably still get a killer return on it. Scrolling through everything else here on Crypto Watch, Ethereum also had a terrific weekend. It went up from about 215 or so up to 272 right now. This has been a gangbuster of a performance. And if you look at the technicals on Ethereum, very kind of loose, broad strokes. Pull this up here. And I'm going to just pull down the 1-day chart, and you zoom out, you can see that this is actually a really, pretty textbook bottom of the valley here for Ethereum. So as you guys know, like, Ethereum is actually my biggest holding. That was what, I bought it last fall 2016, and then also in January of 2017 for a very, very, very low price. And so I just forgot about it. I own a lot of it. Which is also why I don't buy as much or really any now, because I already own so much of it. I want to balance out my portfolio. That is a cognitive bias. I'm fully aware of that's probably not the best strategy, but I'm starting to take another look at Ethereum. I think that it has a lot of room to grow, right? Just based on a technical, chart here. And I think it's also, if Bitcoin leads the charge, I think that Ethereum is just going to follow suit, right? I don't see why it wouldn't. Now, the kicker is that if you can see this chart, right? Let me get rid of that. So if you think about it, 272 on the original ascent, 272 is like around here, right? So if you're listening to this, I'm pointing to about 3/4 or maybe a little bit beyond 3/4 of the way up the chart. And now 272 is almost at the bottom of the valley of this last drop. And the reason why is because Bitcoin went up so much. And so Ethereum, this gets into a different video, which some people have asked about when you think about pairings versus fiat pairings, right? So this chart is pegged Ethereum against Bitcoin prices. This is not against Ethereum against US dollars. So the chart against Bitcoin will still behave like any other chart. Like it'll still go up. But because this whole macro system has increased in value so much because Bitcoin's value, that any increase that this gets right here gets multiplied by the Bitcoin price, right? So if we compare this, let's pull this up down to the USDT, which is the US dollar chart at the bottom of Bittrex, and you open it up, you'll see a little bit of a different behavior. I'm going to pull down the 1 day again. I'm going to open this up, and you can see how it's a much more, it doesn't look nearly as severe of a drop, and it's also increasing much more rapidly. So it's almost further along on this chart. So this is when you get into a little bit more of the reading the charts type of things, which we'll get into. But honestly, what you really need to know is Ethereum, I think, is going to continue to go up as well. When you look at some of the resistance levels, I think it's got a lot of room to grow, but it's also going to gain value in US dollars or wherever your currency is, because Bitcoin is increasing as well. It's a rising tide that lifts all boats. Going through here, I'm a Monero fan. I will tell you from a psychological standpoint, it's been a little challenging owning Monero, even though I believe in it, because I own a lot of it. I was so tempted. I didn't do it to put some of this back on the exchange and sink it into something else that may have a better return. And I'm going to talk about a little bit more later on. I didn't, because I know that long term, I think it is going to do really, really well. But that's something that I think everyone should keep in mind, is that often once you make a trade on something that's going to go long, you got to put it in a place where you don't see it, right? So luckily I put this in cold storage. Like it's very difficult to access. It would be a huge pain for me to go get that and to move it around. It's not, easily put onto an exchange or something. And that stopped me from moving that, because I think that, in a rational sense, I do think Monero will keep going, but it's tough when you see, all these other coins is going through the roof and Monero's just kind of chugging along, doing its thing. But I still believe in it, because I do believe that it's unique and nothing else will ever beat it from a privacy standpoint. And there will always be a market for privacy out there. So let's go over to Bittrex. I think that's really the story. The other big story is Bitcoin Cash, right? So let's pull this up here. Bitcoin Cash has been, all over the news recently for a variety of reasons, is actually starting to get a little bit of traction, right? It's still way below where it mooned to, it didn't really moon, but, it went up a lot when it first launched up here to 0.4 Bitcoin, and now it's down at 76. You may have seen on, pull up Twitter here, I posted on this, where is it? How do I get to my profile? There we go. I think last Friday I posted, boom. On August 5th, I think that was Saturday, I set a buy order at 0.41. It did not fill, right? But that was right, August 4th. Was it here? I think it was right around here, and it didn't get there. I saw the sell volume coming through. It didn't hit. It got down to 0.58. So I unfortunately did not. But look what happened. It went up to, it went up a lot, like 30% almost. If you look at this on a macro chart, let's take fundamentals out of this. This looks, you can't write a more textbook, bottom of a chart, right? That being said, you got to take the with a grain of salt, because as we know, like there's a lot of controversy around Bitcoin Cash. There's a lot of emotion around Bitcoin Cash. But if I was looking at this and I didn't know anything about these, if I was purely looking at this as like an investor, Bitcoin Cash actually looks pretty good to buy. It pains me to say that. Like, it's kind of crazy for me to say that, but it may actually be a really good thing to buy, because I think that there's a lot of confusion with mining. I think that there's a lot of controversy, obviously. There's just a lot of uncertainty and almost fear and hatred against Bitcoin Cash. But if you looked at this and you're like, this purely as a technical readout, it actually looks pretty good. So, one, if you have any, I would hold them. Two, if you want to roll the dice, this could be a good one. It could, if they figure out the mining situation, more people start mining it, I think Bitcoin Cash could actually get some serious traction, to be perfectly honest. And it's crazy to say that for anybody. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about a few others that have been doing really well that I have my eye on. Stratis. Love Stratis. You'll see on Twitter. Guys, if you want to, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Carter Thomas. This is where I post like kind of what I'm thinking about, getting some, often my, picks or whatever. So about 2 hours ago today, I posted about Stratis, and you can see in 30 minutes, this was 2 hours ago, and boom, it's starting to go way up. There's a lot of reasons for this. I think the Stratis is going to go up to like 25,000 Satoshis. So that's going to be, right now it's at 21.9. I think it's going to go up to 25, maybe 26. But I'm loading up on Stratis pretty good. I think it's going to have a little bit of ups and downs for a while till it breaks out, and then it's going to go big time down the road. There's a few reasons for this. Obviously, the technicals look pretty good. But when I look at Bittrex, right, and I look at the last, 24 hours, and I was doing this all weekend, the coins that were doing the best are all platform-related coins. Now, remember in the other videos we talked about the future of crypto is 3 tracks, right? There's platforms, there's currencies, and then there's apps. Platforms are like Ethereum. Or OMG or Neo, right? Or Stratis. It is full blockchains that they have their own rule sets. They do their own thing, and you could build on top of them. Blockchains are like the big mega market movers. The currencies are the stores of value and the ways to transact, right? Bitcoin's one, Monero's one, Bitcoin Cash is one, 10x is more like an app, I guess. But the currencies, which is kind of the smallest of the buckets, and then the third bucket is the apps, which are individual solutions to problems, and the platforms are what's getting all the volume right now, right? Neo is getting all the volume because it's the quote-unquote Ethereum of China, right? OMG is the quote-unquote Ethereum killer. Everyone's talking about what's the next platform because everybody wants to have that mega moon. They want to have that story where they say, oh yeah, I bought it when it was 1 cent and now it's at $45 and I made $6 million and I drive a Lambo. Like that's what everybody wants, whether we hate it or not. That is the truth of crypto investing. So everybody wants that thing. And right now in this moment, platforms are what can potentially give you those returns in a big, big way. So that's why I look at Stratis not only from the charts, but from a psychological macro standpoint. It seems like Neo got all the volume and all the money this weekend, which it did. Like it's crushing it, and I'm kicking myself because I sold it at like 38 because that was my plan. I was like, all right, well, I had the spreadsheet, 40%, sell it, awesome. And I kind of had this feeling that it's going to keep going, but you got to stick to your plan. So, so it goes. I mean, it was a good trade, but still kind of kills you. But Neo got all the attention. Bitcoin's getting all this new money. The way that this market's been working is going to cascade into something else. I think that's going to continue to move down. Waves got a lot of volume. We talked about this on Thursday and Friday. I was like, check out Waves. It's a potential platform. I didn't buy any. I've bought some before, but I didn't buy any this time. I didn't really recommend it, but you could have. That was one of the biggest movers, but like all of the ones that move big time are platforms. And Stratis has been going sideways during this whole process. I think that's a really good macro sign. So anyway, I bought into Stratis at like 20. I mean, I own plenty of Stratis from like the first dip, which was around 10 up to 15. I bought most of my Stratis, and then I rebought in at 205,000 last night, I think. Yeah, last night, early this morning. So we'll see. I'm expecting it to go up to 25. I'm just going to scalp that. I'm not trying to make any crazy money on it, but I do think that this is a really good one. I would check it out. Elastic has been another one that's been going way up, way down. I think the story behind Elastic is really the volume. And we talked about this. I did buy some Gollum, like I mentioned I would do on Friday, and it has not done anything, which has been very, very difficult. I ended up buying a little bit at the 10,300. Right now it's at 9,370. And then I rebought in at 9,500. And now it's at, it's gone down a lot. And so this has been one of those things where it's painful to hold on to, but I really do believe in the thesis behind this, which is it's a great product. They haven't released a lot of their big things yet. And these big idea platforms like Elastic really prove that the market can handle that kind of volume, and Gollum just hasn't had its time yet. And that's why I'm going to hold it until it hits my target of 25% return. But you get used to these like 24-hour rips, or like you buy something and you want it to go up immediately. That's why you got to have confidence in your trade. So I'm holding that one. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to make that money back. It's just kind of, it's always painful to hold something, buy something and watch it go down, even if it's a little bit. But so it goes. That's part of the learning process. And I do stick by that. I think that it's just a volume problem. It's not a product problem. It's not a market fit problem. It is purely a volume issue. And that's one of these things that will change when it gets the news and the marketing and the things behind it. The other one that I tweeted about, or two others I tweeted about this morning that I would encourage you guys to check out. I've mentioned XLM a bunch of times. I know some people that have bought it. It's been going up, it's been going down, and then also Litecoin. So I want to pull these up, right? So XLM, I tweeted about it right around here. It went up and now it's kind of bouncing back. I mean, you can see it. When did I post this morning, 3 hours ago, XLM and LTC. So if you look at it, yeah, so this is right around 3 hours ago. It's starting to pop. But what I was looking at is this in particular. So you remember last week, guys, I talked about that 4 red bar pattern or whatever, like ascending sell volume pattern. So I saw this morning, and I own plenty of XLM. I think it's going to come back big time. But look at this, right? It's 4 sell bars in a row, and each of them gets bigger and bigger. And so you can see this red candle is getting steeper and steeper each time. So right here, right around 8 o'clock, which is when I posted this, it said, go check out the daily chart, sell volume over 3 days, sell accelerating. So this is like the short-term bar. If you pull up the 1 day bar, or 1 day candles, I should say, have it pull up here. This is the 1 days. So now you look at the 1 days, it's still the 3 bars. It's not ascending, but the 30 minutes were, but this is still showing 3 days in a row of sell volume. Which to me is good. It's hard to get 4 days in a row on the 1 day candles. So this to me is like, it's a good buy, both short term, and then I just love XLM long term. I mean, look at this. It was at 3,000, and right now it's at 600. And it's a killer product, like amazing product, amazing team, amazing advisors. I think it's just a matter of time until this thing goes bananas. So that's my take. Same thing with Litecoin. Now, instead of Litecoin's a little bit of the opposite. Look at this. You go to the 1 day candle. So you scroll out. Litecoin's kind of got this, weird double dip. This was when SegWit hit, and then, other things. But look at this. Look at these. Look at this. It lasts 5 days, 6 days. It's all sell volume. It's all going down in 6 days in a row. I mean, that's just a no-brainer to me that this is going to pop in the short term. Is this a bearish or bullish trend? I personally think it's a bullish trend when you look at the long term. So I always buy Litecoin. I think it's a good long-term hold. But I mean, look at that, 6 in a row. It's just like you can't tee this stuff up. So I think both XLM and Litecoin, you're not going to make money on the quick flip. Stratis, you might be able to get it if you want to flip it up to like 25, 26. But these two, I think that are going to take a little while. I'm owners in all 3 of these, right? I drink my own Kool-Aid. I don't, advise things that I wouldn't buy myself. The last one I wanted to mention is one I do not own, but I'm watching because a lot of people have been talking about this. I looked through a lot of comments on Twitter, and this is one that keeps coming up. Let me see here. Where is it? It's Verge. Let me pull this up. So XVG. This continues to get a lot of attention. What Verge is it's a blockchain blockchain layer platform, I guess, but it's all about privacy. So it basically allows you to use Bitcoin, but in a private way using Tor and IP cloaking and things like that. What I don't like about it is there's like, it's like 20 billion coins issued or something. What I do like about it is that they've only issued half of them, and they only issue 1 billion each year. And then it's harder to like own a big part of the market with that many coins, or it's easier to democratize that many coins because more people will buy small amounts because it's like a very low price point. But somewhere I was reading that these guys are going to have some big releases in mid-August. They don't really have a lot of volume, and it's also a low enough price point that it's hard for that number to move. That's why you see these big candles that are, kind of blocky. They don't really move. You also don't see a lot of buying and selling in a row because it's hard to rally on these really small cap things. The upside being that if it does get some volume, this thing is going to go banana. Like the percentage increases is going to be crazy. So I have not bought any of this. I'm looking at it. I think it's very attractive, but I just, I've already got a lot of my trades locked in, and I'm not like totally ready to dive into another one. But if it goes down to right around 100, that could be something to check out. Last thing I want to talk about is like a psychology thing, and this is hopefully helpful. I think this is something that I've realized. I mentioned this briefly with Gollum earlier, but I want to talk about what's it called? Augur, right? Augur, I think, is an amazing company. I really like what they're doing. If you don't know, they kind of built a blockchain around putting odds against probabilities, right? The obvious example being gambling and things like that. And I bought some at a very, very high price, and it has gone down almost 40% since I bought it. Now, the US dollar amount has stayed the same, which is kind of like redeeming, but that's kind of like just an opportunity cost of missing out on all the, the potential money in another investment. And I wanted to bring this up because I think I personally have long been under the impression, or had the mentality with trading, investing, that you don't lose money if you never sell. And I think that there's a lot to be said for having strong hands and holding your own through tough times. If you really believe in it, I think with Monero, that's kind of what I'm doing there. But I also think that if you know that there's a good trade or something that can make money in a faster way that will be better or bigger than the sell move that you're going to take, sometimes it can be a good thing to sell and take a loss so you can put it into something else. For example, I bought some Monaco when it was going up. Where is Monaco? Monaco's been doing pretty well, actually. I think it might be first page now. Monaco is like a credit card type thing that uses Bitcoin or crypto. Where the heck is Monaco? And recently they started doing better. There we go. Pull this up. But I bought some Monaco. Let me scroll out a little bit. Go to 1 day. Monaco really spiked. And then I bought it like right around 43, I think, like right around here. And then it just started to die off because it didn't have any of the sell volume. And I realized, man, maybe I got hit with a pump and dump. Like maybe I got totally hosed on this. I didn't believe in it. And so I sold at 33, I think. So I took a loss, and I hate taking losses, but I did. And the reason why is because I knew that I had a big opportunity to make a big scalp on Stratis. So right around the same time, Stratis was around, I think 15 or 16. I sold it. I put that money into Stratis and I made, I think it was 30% very, very quickly on Stratis. And so it actually ended up being kind of a net break even. I think, and the kicker is I didn't sell Monaco to go chase something. I sold it because I had a very, very strong buy strategy somewhere else that would achieve the same goals. It was just a more efficient use of my capital. I don't think that this is a good strategy overall because it's very hard to guarantee that you can do that. But I do think it's an important point to bring up is that you don't want to sell. You never want to have to sell at a loss, right? Like you never want to do that unless for like tax reasons or whatever. But for the most part, you always want to be able to hold it long enough that you can make your money back. Just getting into that habit and never sell out of fear, right? You always want to sell. If you do sell, you want to sell so that you can a better opportunity will achieve the same result just faster. But I think it's important to bring this up because it's okay to sell something if you have a much better opportunity. And more importantly, this is the key, if nothing else, and this is the theme that I will continue to hammer, so that mostly for myself, so that I like hammer it into my own brain. You make your money on the buy side of the trades. I bought Monaco because I thought the return was going to be huge. I did not buy Monaco because it was a good price. And that is why I lost money on that deal. If I'd held it for another 3 weeks until like today or yesterday, I would have made money on it, but I didn't because I didn't buy it at a good price. And when you talk to pros and we talk to really good investors, they rarely buy things that they have to wait for the price to come back because they buy it when the price is really, really, really good. And the best way to do that, like we talked about with the 4 candles, that's when you get really good ideas. And so if you bought something, or if you're looking at something like, should I buy this? And you're thinking to yourself, should I buy this because it might go big? That is a bad reason to buy anything investing. If you're buying something because it's a really good price right now, that's a good reason. If you're buying something because it's a really good price and it's got a huge upside, that is a great reason. Okay? So I think that is probably the one thing that's the most fundamental principle that I will continue to come back to because it is the thing that I want to work on the most, is to never buy anything because I think it's going to go up, buying things because it's so far down and that it's just underpriced. Because that's how you make money, right? That's how you consistently make money. It's never about how much you're going to make. It's about how good of a deal you get. And that's true in venture capital. It's true in business. It's true in this. I mean, it's true in anything, real estate, whatever you invest your money into. But that's that. All right. So this is Carter Thomas with Coin Mastery TV. Make sure you guys go subscribe on YouTube. Go to coinmastery.com/YouTube. If you like what we're doing here, share this on your Facebook page. Share it with somebody else. Email them the episode. Tell them to subscribe. We've got a great community here. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to continue to put these out Monday through Friday. Please leave comments. I love interacting with you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Peace out.